So, we are getting a new Life is Strange game. Life is Strange Double Exposure was just announced with a trailer followed by a live stream a few days later. And I've watched both the trailer and the live stream. And I also looked at some reactions to this game. And I really want to talk about it because I am a fan of Life is Strange. I played the original game, I loved it. It was awesome. One of the best story-based games ever made. I was in high school and I was a big fan of Telltale games at the time, specifically the Walking Dead Telltale games when the first Life is Strange came out, so that game was right up my alley. I also played the Before the Storm spin-off prequel with Chloe, and then I also played Life is Strange True Colors, which was the most recent game in the series. I have not played through Life is Strange 2. I played the first episode of that game and I wasn't a huge fan of it. It was okay. The story wasn't really gripping me. And I haven't played the Captain Spirit game. I forgot about that game, to be honest. Maybe I should play it sometime, but I don't really consider that game to be part of the Life is Strange series, even though it's technically in the same universe. And then there was also some DLCs for some of the games, and I don't think I've played all of them. I don't think I've played the farewell bonus episode from Before the Storm with young Max and Chloe. I don't remember playing that one. I might have, but I know for a fact I haven't played the Wavelengths DLC for True Colors. I just want to give you guys the context of my relationship with this series. I haven't played every game, but every game that I have played, I was a fan of. But when they announced this new game, I didn't actually check it out right away. I saw the thumbnail for the trailer on YouTube and I didn't click it right away. I was like, oh, a new Life is Strange game. And they even showed Max in the thumbnail and I had no idea that that was Max. I didn't even recognize her. I actually didn't realize that was supposed to be Max until I saw a tweet about it. And then I read the tweet and I was like, wait, that's Max? And then I immediately went and watched the trailer for it. And then I watched the live stream. And so now I'm all caught up with the announcements. But yeah, Max really looks a lot different in this game. Now that I know that it's her, I can see it. I can tell that it's still Max. But I gotta say, they really gave her a glow up in this game. The haircut that she had in the first game was a little dorky, to be honest. But this game, I like her design. I think she looks awesome. She looks like a more mature version of Max, which is what she's supposed to look like. So I guess they did a good job with that. I'm not gonna lie, I am excited to see a continuation of Max's story. I know some people don't think it's really necessary. I definitely don't think it's necessary. I thought that the first Life is Strange had a perfect ending to Max's story. I don't think we really needed another Max story or another Max Caulfield game. But I'd be lying if I said that I liked, Life is Strange 2 and True Colors as much as I liked the original Life is Strange. I think the first Life is Strange was like lightning in a bottle. They clearly, I had something right with Max and Chloe, and all the fans know it. I think the whole fan base can agree Life is Strange has not been the same since the first game, and the sequels have failed to capture the magic of the first. And I like True Colors. I think True Colors was a great game. It had its faults, but it was really fun to play, and it was a good story. Life is Strange 2, I think they missed the mark on that one. I don't know what it is, but it seems like they want to go back to their roots and do another Max Caulfield game to get everybody back on board again. And that is actually something that has spawned a little bit of controversy. Some people have their reservations about this game, and they do have some concerns with bringing Max back, and I'll get to that later in the video. But for now, I want to talk about some of the information that has come out about this game and what we know about the story for now. Now, the developers during the live stream for this game did say that they were going to be respecting both endings to the first Life is Strange. I mean, that seems like a very hard task to do. Like, I'm not sure what they mean by that, since these are two wildly different endings. I mean, you either sacrificed Chloe for the safety of the town, or you just let the whole town be destroyed to save Chloe. I'm not sure what they mean when they say they're gonna, respect both endings. I do have a theory about what they mean by this, and it's not a new theory. It's, I think, the main theory for how they're going to do this, which is because this game is dealing with two separate timelines, Max is going to be able to switch back and forth between each timeline. I think the best case scenario would be for them to make it so that one timeline is where you sacrificed Chloe, and the other time is where you sacrificed Arcadia Bay. Now, if this is going to be how they do it, the question is, which timeline do we start in? Because obviously there's like a main timeline and then there's an alternate timeline. They said that they don't want to make a canon ending. And to be honest, with an ending like this, like the first Life is Strange, I don't know how you could not pick a canon ending. And it really, to be honest, it really seemed to me like the proper ending to Life is Strange 1 was sacrificing Chloe. It really seemed like the whole game was building up to that. So in my mind, that's the canon ending. In fact, that is the ending that I chose. When I first played the game, I basically sacrificed Chloe for the plot. I saw what they were doing. I was like, okay, all right, I see where this is going. It seems like the right decision to do. It seems like the more impactful decision. Saving Chloe just felt more like a cop-out to me. I don't like that ending. I think that's a bad ending. I know there's a lot of Max and Chloe stans. People love their relationship, so they don't want to see anything bad happen to them. But for me personally, the canon ending is sacrificing Chloe, letting her die for the sake of the town. I think that just makes sense. It's more narratively satisfying, I think. I guess the other way they can respect both endings is by pretty much having you choose, which ending you picked in the first game in the beginning of this game, and kind of decide whether or not Chloe is already dead in this universe. This actually transitioned into my next topic that I want to talk about, which is how they're going to deal with like moving over your decisions from the first game into this game. So they said during the live stream that Max is going to have a conversation with her new friend Safi, and Safi's going to be like pretty much asking her a bunch of questions, and this is going to be the time for the player to kind of solidify, which decisions you picked in the first game. But this has brought up a lot of discussion because they teased this scene a little bit, and the part of the conversation that they teased was regarding Chloe. And this is a big thing for a lot of Life is Strange fans. People love Chloe. Chloe is like the fan favorite character. Everyone wants to just see more Chloe. I see people in the comments like demanding to see Chloe in this game. I'll get to that in a second, but the dialogue in question is
this about the blue-haired girl whose picture you keep in your wallet?
Wait, you snooped in my wallet?
Stop deflecting. The girl with the blue hair. What's the deal with you two?
And the player, as Max, has two different responses that you could pick to this question. You can either say we were just friends, or you can say we were high school sweethearts. Now, some people are already maybe a little concerned about this. I say they have their valid reasons for being concerned, because if you picked this ending where you saved Chloe, well, it seems like that choice was kind of meaningless now in this game, because in this game they're not really together anymore anyway. So those people are probably thinking, well, what the heck? Some people are saying that this is how we're going to decide whether or not Chloe is alive in this universe. But I don't see it that way. That was one interpretation I saw. I don't agree with that. Basically, what I think this choice boils down to is whether or not the player had Max and Chloe romantically involved, or if they had them just as friends. Because that was another decision that you had in the first game. Max and Chloe weren't necessarily romantically involved in the first game. That was something that played out based on your actions. When I played the game, Max and Chloe were just friends. That's how I saw them. I didn't see them as like a couple. I really just saw them as just being two best friends. In my playthrough, I had Max actually kiss Wyatt in the final episode of the first game. That was a choice that you could make in the first game. You can either, kiss Wyatt, or you can just kind of continue to friend zone him. I kind of felt bad for Wyatt. He clearly had a big crush on Max, and I kind of saw them as being a nice couple. I could see them being a good couple, so that's how I played the game. But I know a lot of people wanted Max and Chloe together, so that's how they played. And I didn't even know that Max can kiss Chloe until like after I finished the game, and I was watching other people's playthroughs, and when they are at that climactic moment with the storm, their Max ends up kissing Chloe, and I was like, what? I didn't even realize that was like a thing that could happen, because it wasn't even really like a choice that you can make. It's just something that either happens or doesn't based on your previous choices. But that's not what happened in my playthrough. I just saw her and Chloe as friends. And I think that's what this, dialogue choice is meant for. I think it's basically for you to decide whether or not Chloe and Max were in a romantic relationship or if they were just friends. Going back to Chloe, though, like I said, a lot of people want to see Chloe. Me, on the other hand, I don't think we need to see Chloe, at all in this game. I would only want to see her in this game if my theory about the dual timelines is correct. If that's the case, then yes, I think it would be important to at least show Chloe in that alternate timeline. Maybe to give Max an incentive to stay in this timeline. So not only is Safi alive in this alternate timeline, but Chloe is too. I think for the story that would be really interesting to have. But if that's not the case, if Chloe is either alive or dead in both timelines, then I really hope that we don't see too much of her, just because I don't want them to keep rehashing things from the first game. It seems like Max is in a completely different setting this time. Let's focus on Max and Safi and these new cast of characters, because we're supposed to be solving Safi's murder. I don't know how Chloe could possibly fit into that story. I think if they brought in Chloe, it would just be distracting. And it would feel cheap. I think it would feel like a cheap move because they know that she's the fan favorite character. I don't get me wrong, I love Chloe, but I don't want them to ruin Chloe. I don't want them to just bring Chloe back for some cheap fan service. If they're gonna show her in this game, I want it to feel earned and I want it to feel right for the story. Now I want to talk about some concerns people had with this game. So when I heard about this game, I was excited. I was like, great, another Max Caulfield adventure. But after hearing about some people's concerns, I now understand why they're concerned. Call me ignorant, but I did not realize that the Life is Strange series switched developers at some point in the series. So Don't Nod were the developers that made the first Life is Strange 2, and Captain Spirit. Then this other developer, Deck 9, were the ones that made the Before the Storm spinoff and Life is Strange True Colors. And they also worked on the remaster for the first Life is Strange. Don't Nod, the studio that created the Life is Strange series, actually said that they never wanted to make another Max Caulfield game. They felt like Max's story was done and complete, and they wanted to focus on new characters. However, Deck 9 is now going against Don't Nod's wishes and making another Max Caulfield game. And it's really hard not to see this as a cash grab. Cash grab! However, from what I've seen so far, I'm not that worried about this game. Like I said, I liked True Colors. I thought that was a great game. They haven't made a bad Life is Strange game yet, in my opinion. And specifically with the Before the Storm spin-off, they have proven that they can be respectful to the original game's story. So I would assume that that would be the case for this new game. However, what does concern me the most are the different additions that this game has. And this is where a lot of the criticism of this game is valid. So the standard edition is $50. I don't have a problem with that price. That seems fair. That is actually very fair compared to the $70 price that most new games are nowadays. Then we get the deluxe edition for $60, which is still cheaper than the standard edition of most new games nowadays. But then we have the Ultimate Edition, and this is where things start getting shady. This Ultimate Edition is $80, and it comes with a bunch of stuff. It comes with all the stuff in the Deluxe Edition, plus a couple of extra stuff. But the main point of concern for most people is that this Ultimate Edition comes with early access to not only Episode 1, but also Episode 2. The reason why this is such a problem is because people who don't get this Ultimate Edition are now going to have to worry about spoilers, because there's going to be people that pay for this Ultimate Edition and they're going to get to play these chapters early, and spoilers are going to be posted online. You're going to see them in YouTube thumbnails. You're going to see them on Twitter and social media. It's going to be really hard to avoid these spoilers. So for a lot of people, it's going to feel like they don't have a choice but to get the Ultimate Edition. And not only do you have to buy the Ultimate Edition to get this early access, you have to pre-order the Ultimate Edition. This early access is not in the Ultimate Edition by default, which is even worse. Honestly, I don't know how else to describe this marketing other than predatory. That is the only word I have for this. It is absolutely predatory. You are taking advantage of people's fear of spoilers to get more money out of them. That is just not respectable business practice. Like it is just so unbelievably predatory. I don't think this is a Deck 9 issue. This feels more like a Square Enix issue. I think Square Enix is the one that's pushing this edition. I know it might be tempting to buy this Ultimate Edition for fear of having this game spoiled for you, but please don't buy this edition. If a lot of people end up buying this Ultimate Edition, then Square Enix wins, and they're gonna end up doing stuff like this for future Life is Strange games. But that's all I have to say about Life is Strange Double Exposure. Are you looking forward to this game like me? Are you a fan of Life is Strange? Did you play the first game? Are you happy to see Max back, or do you wish that they just left her story alone? Are you concerned about this game at all? Let me know your thoughts about this game in the comments below. I read all my comments and I really want to hear all of your opinions. So let's start a conversation. If you're not subscribed yet and you like what you see here, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out. Also, please consider giving this video a like. Also, if you want to see more of my content, you can click on one of my videos that appear on screen now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.